Hey besties, Rivals of Aether just dropped patch 1.1.4, and the Legends event, which looks really sick. I do know that this patch is humongous, so I will be leaving tons of bookmarks all throughout the video, so let's say you don't care about this Legends event, or you don't care about the training mode updates, you can go ahead and just skip them and get right to the parts that you want to know. Without further ado though, let's go ahead and dive right in. They start the patch notes by saying, the Aether Legends in-game event is live and runs from March 4th, which is today, to April 2nd, which is when Olympia comes out and will be one day after the Rivals 2 Direct, I believe. Earn iconic cosmetics tied to the Legends and history of Aether by progressing the free event track, or grab the Legends bundle in the shop for a pack of storied skins, icons, coins, and bucks. The paid bundle includes Ranger Fleet, Demigod Orcane, that's a really cool name, and Dark Future Loxodont. Skins both feature custom voice and sound effects when equipped. Check out the event trailer below. I watched this trailer muted a few minutes ago, so I didn't get to hear the new audios, but I'm going to go and check that out in a minute. This is my personal favorite skin bundle that they've done a little bit. And if you're wanting to use it and you're going to use a code, use code LASTSTOCK. It actually really supports the channel a lot. They go ahead and say, our free track for March contains Dark Future Loxodont's emote, the 4 Legend Death Effect, the Ranger platform, and the Smoke Clan Forsburn skin, and Smoke Clan Forsburn icon. Players equipping any new event skins, any Abyss skins, or Ranger Clairen will receive 20% bonus XP on the event track, so it's like a lot of skins you can use to get bonus little goodies on this track. Then we get into the training mode updates, which are really sick. They say training mode is getting some new features. While this is only the first phase of improvements, we've been taking feedback from community via our note board. If y'all like that null board video, let me know. I'll do more of them. It was fun to do, but I don't want to overdo it if y'all aren't into it, you know? They then say, thank you to everyone that has left constructive feedback regarding training mode. We plan to continue implementing your feedback as development continues. Here's the list of new options added in today's update. To set the player percent, a grab option, so the CPU can grab you. Ledge option, counter option, so you can set it to do these different things in the air. Counter delay, so you can have them delay how long they'll do it, to floor hug, throw, or pummel. Which is pretty neat. There's a lot of new little goodies, but I do hope to see more in the future, which it seems like they plan to do. They then said character art update. Etalus' character model has been given a visual upgrade to show off his scruffy fur. This update is being applied to every skin except for Honey Etalus. Check it out. This is cool, I guess. Yeah, this is a good Etalus buff. We were just talking about how to fix Etalus. This is one way to do it. Audio updates. We've added some audio updates addressing feedback from community members and a fix for stereo audio that appeared in a recent patch. There's a new patch for perfect shielding and attack, making it easier to distinguish in-game. The victory sequence audio has been improved for all characters. The game default volume adjusted to make the slider more usable. That's really cool. I always use the outside of game slider because the in-game slider was a little bit weird. The top end of the slider was way too loud overall. This adjustment may make the game sound quiet since the settings will be set to the same number. So be sure to go in and adjust your audio settings as you see fit. For a bug fix, they definitively fixed a bug with stereo audio. This was an elusive fix that it took a few patches to get right. Now they were happy to have a true fix in the game coupled with the extra adjustments to make it sound even better than before. This is great to hear. They then say, a new ranked season is on the way. We're excited to announce the conclusion of Ranked Light is coming soon, with the reset and a brand new system and season on the way. Fear not, the end is not here, only near. We've added a little neat in-game timer to count down to the reset on April 2nd, so you know how long you have left to climb. More information on the new Ranked mode and season will come in a future update, but players can expect more features and rewards on the current Ranked as the current Ranked Light gets an upgrade to our full Ranked system. So this date seems pretty prevalent here. Looks like they're planning a pretty big content drop on April 2nd, and that would make sense because it will be the day after, I believe, the Rivals Direct, because they normally have those on April 1st. So super exciting. They then say ranked and casual timing update. One thing that is going into effect immediately is a new timer update. Timer's been updated for queues and lobbies to help streamline the online player experience and menus. So basically all that's going to happen here is a lot of things are unchanged, but follow-up character selects have been brought down to 25 seconds. Which I know sometimes people would get a little bit mad and sit the whole 60 seconds and try to time me out. So I'm really glad for this, and then the ranked results have dropped down to 20 seconds, and the initial character selection is 50, but those are the only numbers that changed. So like initial and like ranked results didn't really change a whole lot, but this follow-up changing a lot actually does like help a lot. For balance updates, they say, it's time for everyone's favorite part of the patch notes, balance updates. This patch focuses on power distribution across the cast, focusing on what strengths and weaknesses among the cast were a bit too prevalent. While we won't be able to cover everything we want at once, which is good to acknowledge, I like that, we have taken a step towards general game feel improvements, which is true, the game feels a lot better since last patch, and adjustments in particular to Wrastor, Clairen, Maypul, and Orcane. Our newest rival Etalus has a plethora of changes that addresses movement and shield pressure. Oh, that's sick! I haven't read down that far. Among other aspects of his gameplay. Let's dive in. So we'll start with general and then work our way down. They say grab and throws can no longer slide off ledges due to leftover shield pushback momentum. This can happen with any character, but showed up most often with Etalus because of his low friction on ice, and Kragg because of his pillar. This is great, I had this happen a lot. If y'all look at the last Etalus video, I slide off stage a lot and I kill myself for it. So that was kind of embarrassing to like make go live, but I just left it in. I was like, I shouldn't edit around my oopsies. They did say, buffering a wave dash off of a ledge while standing right on it will no longer cause you to air dodge on stage. This allows you to wave dash to ledge regardless of distance to it. So this should just make it easier to snap onto ledge if you're standing on stage for ledge hogging purposes. They then say, air dodge angles will now round to the cardinal directions within 20 degrees. This was previously 10 degrees and would sometimes result in slightly upward air dodges when trying to wave land or wave dash horizontally. This is a really good change actually, just smooths out some controller inputs. They then say they fixed a bug that prevented characters from reaching their full run speed on the first frame of run, despite their dash speed not being slower than their run speed. This was very minor, but it would make those characters slightly faster when they enter full run. This is really cool. It'll speed up a few characters. I wonder who it was. Fixed a bug state that prevented characters from reaching their full run speed on the first frame of run when transitioning from their run turn state. This is very minor as well, but will also make characters faster when they finish a turn. I also wonder who this was, I'm not too sure. Maybe your character is going to start zooming around everywhere. Medium hit stun will no longer force players to face the opponent. They will instead face the opposite direction of the horizontal knockback, the same way they do when entering heavy hit stun. This mechanic made some attacks that pulled inwards behave oddly, if they didn't send in the tumble, leaving the opponent facing the opposite direction than intended. This mechanic still applies to light hit stun. Okay, interesting. I wonder which moves they saw were like causing a problem about this. Moving on to the character-specific changes now. I do want to start with saying these are probably results from Genesis. Our last patch was right after Genesis, which means that they wouldn't be able to get in like specific changes that they noticed throughout Genesis being a problem. So we'll probably see some fun stuff in here. To start, they say Zetterburn is getting some small changes that reduce the active frames on his powerful down air, and allow him to keep some momentum while using a grounded neutral special. The down air active frames have gone from 5 to 4, which they say, this makes it require slightly more precise timing to land. The recovery frames are increased by 1 to leave the total move duration unchanged. This is a great change, I think. But personally, I would like to see more changes to Zetterburn just to make him a little bit harder. I feel like some of this stuff is kind of free, but this is a good step in the right direction, I think. They also say grounded neutral special will no longer stop horizontal momentum. This allows him to keep a little bit of velocity when doing running state into neutral specials, instead of stopping immediately in place. This is kind of cool. I guess you could do like some shield cross-ups with this. Giving him new options is always neat. Moving on to Wrastor, they say, Wrastor's new slipstream was getting removed a little too easily, so we're making it take some extra effort to get rid of. We're also changing the way his dash attack and forward air function, as they were a bit over-centralizing to how versatile they were. Slipstream will no longer go on cooldown when Wrastor goes into light or medium hit stun. This means it'll take a stronger hit or grab to get rid of it. His weight has been reduced, which is funny, Dan actually had a Twitter interaction about this last night, saying that this weight reduction emphasizes his greatest weakness in order to better offset his strengths. Which I think is cool to make a character like very glass cannon-y, you know? That's neat. His dash attack grounded recovery has gone from 20 frames to 22, and his dash attack aerial recovery has gone from 10 to 12. This move was a bit too rewarding in both scenarios. They then say dash attack late hit has split into 2 separate hitboxes, a mid hit and a late hit. The dash attack mid hitbox does this, and the dash attack late hitbox does this, so it looks like the late hitbox is going to be a little bit different. Dash attack late hit stun multiplier has also dropped by 0.5%. This reduces the reward of Wrastor getting hits with late dash attack, since it would too often combo into his most powerful finisher, the up special. Neutral Air 1, innermost hitbox knockback angle has been changed from 32 to 65. This allows Wrastor to use the inner and outer hits in different scenarios, with varying levels of reward based on momentum. Generally, the inner hit will link better with no momentum, while the outer hit will link better with forward momentum. That's pretty interesting, so it's like, if you're a Wrastor player and you're moving, you want to land the forward hit, and if you're not moving, you want to land the inner hit. That's kind of cool. Next up, the forward air inner hit knockback has been edited. They say, this move had a little too much kill power for how large and quick it was when hit deep off stage. Now, it should lean more into its identity as a combo move. The angle was changed in combination with the following changes to make the inner and outer hits feel more distinct. The forward or outer hitbox was also changed a little bit, and its hit stun was also reduced. They say, this makes the outer hit still a true sour spot, forcing Wrastor to hit the inner hitbox in order to carry opponents off stage, with repeated forward air changes. I think this is a good change. Sometimes it kind of felt like you couldn't escape Wrastor in some spots, especially if you had Slipstream. They also say get up special multi-hits knockback angle have been changed. The lower angle should help prevent opponents from falling out before the final hit. This is great, because sometimes I'll do the get up special and I would clip them while I was coming down, and then nothing else would happen and they would kill me. Moving on to Kragg, they say, this bug is getting some bugs fixed. They say they fixed a bug that prevented Kragg from landing during the early falling frames of his forward special cancel. Also, parrying one of his rock shards will now count as parrying all of them. This is good, yeah, this is a weird bug. Previously, all shards were reflected, but only the shard that was actually parried would be considered to be parried. This change means Kragg will no longer get intangibility when parrying different shards than the one the opponent parried. Oh, that is like a really weird bug actually. I assume this is something more general, but this is weird. They also say Pillar's hurt boxes are now slightly wider. This allows projectiles to break it consistently from the side. And they actually have a visual update for us. So you can see the width on it has been changed. It's very slight, but it's there for sure. Moving on to Fleet, they say Fleet is getting some small changes to prevent her forward tilt from whiffing at close range. Forward tilt's innermost hitbox has been moved more inwards. This prevents it from whiffing against low opponents right next to her due to the move's forward lunge. I guess like Orcane or like Maypul could crouch underneath this maybe? This would be like really specific though, but this is a good change too. For Maypul, they say, Maypul is getting a few knockback numbers shifted around to be weaker at low percents and stronger at high percents, with forward tilt also getting a new sour spot at close range. Her dash speed is also being increased since it wasn't heavily affected by last patch's dash acceleration changes. They say her dash speed has gone from 18 to 22, which is a big change, that's a big jump. With changes to dash speeds in the last patch, Maypul's dash became noticeably slower, reducing the impact of what was supposed to be her greatest trait. With this change, she's just slightly slower than before. So she's slower overall, but definitely faster than last patch, so you should feel that. Forward tilt knockback has been changed a little bit. They say this reduces the knockback until around 100%, making it slightly worse at boxing opponents out at low percents. This is a pretty good change, because I feel like the move is supposed to be good at ledge for sure, like that's the obvious intention, but it would be used here too, and it was kind of annoying to have to play around sometimes, in combination with their other tools of course. Forward tilt's innermost hitbox is now our sour spot, with knockback being changed just a little bit. This makes forward tilt require good spacing to get the best reward from it. This new sour spot is also less advantageous on shield. So this means that like if Maypul doesn't space right at ledge, she will get punished for it and she can't just kind of like mash away, you know? They also say, up air multi-hits SSDI modifier has gone from 0 to 0.5. Now that tether up air is separate from normal up air, we're allowing opponents to use SSDI to increase the counterplay when Maypul is juggling with multiple up airs. The down strong knockback has also been changed. They say this reduces knockback until 115%, making it slightly worse at putting opponents off stage in mid percents. So this means she won't be able to set up into her forward air quite as easily out of like down strong, especially from like down strong wrap. They also say up special hit 2 now has a sour spot multiplier. This means that Maypul is like Leslie to get a combo after clipping an edge guarding opponent while recovering. Yeah, so this would happen actually a lot where she would like tap you at the last hit of it, grab ledge, and then like get up forward air. So she can't do that anymore. Or according to these notes, she can't. For Clairen, they say Clairen is getting a lot of her tipper boxes cleaned up, which should make her feel much less frustrating to fight. which is definitely something that's needed. I feel like the general consensus is Clairen's not very fun to fight, even though she's like really cool. She's also getting some changes to help the consistency of her neutral air and get up special. The first change says, Jab's middle sour spot hitbox radius has been increased slightly and slightly moved forward. This reduces the tipper range of this move, so as you can see, it's just a little bit moved up. They also say, down tilt, middle, and tipper hitboxes have been adjusted to not reach quite as far as downward. This change makes recovering against this move a little bit more lenient. This is great because as an Orcane player, I would very commonly get clipped by this move whenever I was just doing my actual recovery route and I couldn't do anything about it. They also say, forward strong hitboxes have been cleaned up. This prevents some situations where a tipper would register at unexpected spacings, such as when the opponent was above and behind Clairen on the first active frame or directly in front of her at very specific spacings on the second active frame. This also reduces the downward swing of the forward strong at ledge. So as you can see here, the initial hitboxes, if you're standing here and you're a taller character, you shouldn't get clipped by this sweet spot anymore. They also say, neutral air multi-hit ASDI modifier has been changed to be less ASDI-able. This should make it less likely for opponents to fall to the move when Clairen uses the correct aerial drift. Both forward air hits backward tipper range has been reduced. This reduces the frequency of reverse tippers for this move. So as you can see here, it's just kind of the range is less small on this side of the move. That's been kind of tucked in a little bit. I wish that Zetterburn forward air also got this. It feels like his back hit on forward air is kind of crazy. They also say, back air now has a new sour spot hitbox on the first active frame. This prevents odd tippers where the opponent was directly below Clairen. So as you can see, it's gone from being here to being right here is the new sour spot. This. It's kind of hard to see. The colors are all kind of samey. That would be because I'm colorblind though. Who knows? They say up air tipper raised upwards on the last active frame. They say this prevents the tipper from hitting opponents far below Clairen. So as you can see, it's moved from here, where the tipper hitbox would have been by her foot, right? Now it's a lot larger. It's by her other foot or her knee on that same leg. Her up special tipper knockback has been changed to be slightly increased. They say this small increase to kill power of this move. So not a big explanation, but that's probably from the clip at Genesis, where the Clairen comboed the Wrastor player, I think it was against Marlin, into the upper blast zone and it did not kill. They also say, get up special speed boost and ground friction increased. The overall movement distance is effectively unchanged, but Clairen will reach max distance much sooner, preventing some situations where the move would whiff when it looked like it should hit. They also say, get up special's innermost sour spot now interlopes on the first frame. This prevents the move from whiffing when used too close to the opponent, which would have been more common with the newly increased speed boost. So this is just a bug fix for a patch they already changed. So nothing's really changing here, just a visual fix overall. They also say for a real bug fix, tipper stun VFX will now play at a shortened duration when a tipper is armored or crouch cancelled. Previously, the stun VFX wouldn't spawn at all, which made the move feel weaker than intended. So just a visual change to make you feel a little bit more satisfying to land those tippers, even if you don't land the actual full effect. For Loxodont, they say, Loxodont's down special is getting a few changes that will make it behave like other similar moves. He's also getting a bug fix on his forward special that made it able to drift further away from the stage than intended. Loxodont will now lose all molten charge if down special is interrupted. This adds commitment to using the extremely high reward move. I think this is because people are doing crouch cancel down special to get really easy kill confirms off crouch cancel, but I'm not 100% sure. For our first bug fix, it says down special can no longer cancel into aerials if it gets parried. Parrying usually prevents cancels, so this bug fix makes the move more in line with other attacks. The second bug fix says forward special can no longer aerial drift while grabbing an opponent. This drift allowed him to carry opponents further off stage than intended when grabbing them at ledge. I'm personally not sure how I feel about this, because I feel like sometimes you could call out bad movement at ledge and then pull them off stage and get the down air, and they wouldn't be able to wall tech. So I guess this idea is you're going to be put closer to the stage so you will be able to wall tech, I guess, which is fine, I guess. For Orcane, he got a lot of changes, I heard. They start by saying, Orcane's neutral air was a bit of a do-everything move, which is true. So we're making it a little more committal to throw out, and building up some other options to help vary his gameplay. His rarely seen empowered forward special is also getting a change that should give it some potential for offstage use. Neutral and lag, or landing lag, has gone from 7 to 9, so a 2-frame change. His neutral recovery has gone from 13 to 16, which is a big change. Saying, this move is heavily over-centralizing to Orcane's kit, so we're toning it down a little bit. Back air sweet spots knockback has been edited. They say, this move is often a little too powerful at low percents, especially because it has a built-in ambiguous mix-up with the sour spot. This new knockback will be stronger starting around 100%, so it will still be extremely powerful at kill percents. I'm kind of curious to see how this pans out. I feel like this will mean that Orcane can't cheese people as much, but if it's stronger around 100% and it already killed around 100% consistently, I wonder if you'll just see people start to fly super fast from this move and just get killed really early. For empowered down strong damage, it's changed from 11 to 14. They said previously other puddle strong attacks increased damage by 5%, while down strong only increased it by 2%. So it's just in line with his other strong attacks. His down strong knockback has also been changed, with a slight reduction to its extremely fast kill power. This is not a very big reduction, but it's still a reduction overall. The empowered forward special no longer goes into special fall on whiff. This reduces the risk of using this move against offstage opponents. Truthfully, this is kind of like a nothing buff. This move is not super great to use, and as an Orcane player, I do not suggest Orcane players start spamming it. There's a clip of me in one of my first Rivals 2 tournaments, I think I actually won it, but I just started spamming the empowered forward strong because my opponents didn't know what it was. And I got a lot of really criminal kills, but as soon as your opponent figures this one out, it probably shouldn't be too great unless they have a really linear recovery. So I could see sniping some people crazy style, but I would not suggest this to use in every situation. They also say, forward throw's knockback has been changed by 0.10, so that's a pretty big buff. They say a slight power increase to its positioning throw. They also say empowered forward throw knockback has been buffed, with a slight increase to the reward for landing a grab on a puddle or successfully using special pummel. The empowered forward throw damage has also been upgraded by 2%. They say, this throw is basically another strong attack, so we wanted to also increase the damage by 5%. I think this is really cool, because his forward throw on puddle was truthfully not that crazy, so giving it small changes definitely helps out a lot. For Forsburn, they say, Forsburn's down air was a huge, safe, and powerful aerial, so we're toning it down to increase the counterplay against it and reduce the frequency of unexpected reverse hits. We're also increasing the cooldown when an opponent destroys his clone to reward them for overcoming his deception. His forward air knockback angle has been changed from 65 to 60. This helps opponents escape the move more frequently when DIing out. His down air front hit damage has gone from 10 to 8, and his down air spike hit damage has gone from 11 to 9. This decreases his advantage on shield. His down air spike knockback has been also edited, and they say this very slight decrease to Spike's power at high percent. His down air innermost hitbox has also been removed, and the next innermost hitbox has been shifted forward. This reduces the chances of reverse hits on early active frames. So as you can see, this hitbox here has been changed, it's kind of edited around a little bit, so you won't get that reverse box super early. They also say, the clone cooldown has gone from 2 to 3 seconds. This matches the Rivals 1 cooldown, giving more reward for destroying the clone and making it more of a limited resource during recovery. It also has a cooldown indicator on the HUD now, so this is really cool. Forest players and his opponents will now know whenever it's coming back online. They also had a bug fix to where his up special no longer casts a shadow while traveling. We covered this in the null update, so that's really cool to see. For Etalus, they say, Etalus's dash attack is getting a significant speed boost. Yay, that's what I said to do. Which should allow him to be much more aggressive with it, while also opening up new combo routes. He's also getting some shield damage buffs and a new ice armor interaction with down throw. His max horizontal jump speed has gone from 17 to 55. Max horizontal jump speed when dashing has gone from 17 to 18. So jumping is going to be worse during a normal jump, but a lot better during a dash attack. His neutral special damage has gone from 15 to 25. This damage felt too low for a slow, heavy attack, which I do agree with. Neutral special shield damage multiplier has gone from 1 to 0.66. After the damage increase, it dealt 45 shield damage, 50 as a full shield. This is actually one of the recommended changes we had in our Etalus change video as well. This change brings it down to 30, which is actually an increase from the previous patch's 20. This is great to see. I feel like Etalus does need more ways to chunk shields. They also say the falling and landing hits of down special can now both hit and shielding opponents. What's this mean? They say this greatly increases the shield damage inflicted by this move, since it previously would only hit shields with one of the 2 hitboxes. Okay, so you'll stack both hitboxes on shield now. So that should make a down special a lot more punishing. They say special pummel will now freeze shields when shielded. This makes it more dangerous to shield, incentivizing opponents to go for more punishable defensive options like roll or spot dodge. His jab recovery has been increased from 13 to 18, and his jab 3 recovery has been increased from 19 to 21. So these are just jab 2 and 3, so jab 1 is still safe. They say these jabs had relatively low in lag for how large they are. His dash attack speed boost has been changed from 26 to 30. This increase of the effectiveness of dash attack as a burst movement option is especially on ice. This does not affect the speed he retains when jump cancelling it. Dash attack ground friction when not on ice has gone from 0.43 to 0.7. This keeps the travel distance on normal dash attack around the same as it was before. Dash attack's recovery window can now be jump cancelled during the first 10 frames. This prevents situations where a late jump cancel input would be ignored if the move's active frames just barely ended. This is a really good quality of life change, and it'll keep Etalus from getting stuck in place for too long. They also say Strong's final hit knockback has been boosted. They say the slight boost to kill power of this attack to compensate for the upward knockback angle and inconsistent linking. Down throw now has unique knockback while armored. This gives the throw more utility in specific scenarios. Armor is lost upon use. I feel like this is kind of a change I would have to see in game to give like a full thought on it. They also say Etalus will now have the normal friction when in the knockdown start and parry stun state. This prevents him from sliding off too easy when missing a tech or getting parried. So this will make comboing Etalus a little bit smoother on ice, which is probably how it should be. They also say for a bug fix, the grabbed players will no longer be frozen by down special shockwave, so this is like a doubles or free-for-all change. Dash attack no longer loses its momentum when reaching a ledge in the jump cancel squat window. This prevents Etalus from jumping straight up if you press jump just before reaching the ledge, so you'll get your normal jump here. They also say that strong attack ice shards can no longer all hit on the same frame. This matches the Rivals 1 functionality and prevents them from doing massive damage to point-blank targets. So they've been playing around with this a lot, but I feel like ice shards should probably be in a good state after this change. Overall, this patch, Etalus got huge buffs both visually and in-game. I think this genuinely makes Etalus a lot better, and these are the most significant buffs we've seen to him since. Forsburn got very minimal changes. Orcane got a handful of power shifting. I think he'll be slightly worse because Nair was his best move overall. So gutting Nair a move that's really centralizing in his kit, and then making empowered forward special a move you almost never want to use, better. It's not a super great trade, Let's see, who else got big changes? Clairen's tippers should be a lot less frustrating to play against, but I feel if you're an actually good Clairen player, you'll still see similar levels of reward from her. So I think these are all really good changes where it's they didn't make the tipper ult Marth where it's just useless, but they did make it a little bit more fair. Maypul, I think she got nerfed overall, but nothing's crazy here. Same with Wrastor, where it's it doesn't feel like any of these things should be too crazy, except maybe dash attack and forward air changes. Actually, those are kind of crazy. That's kind of the whole point of his patch. So maybe Wrastor did get hit pretty hard. But overall, it seems like a really sick patch. I will say, I noticed that Rano is not here, and he's been pretty highly talked about, but he also didn't really have a very big showing at Genesis. Either because Rano players didn't attend that event, or just because he didn't place very high. So I wonder if that has something to do with it. But I'm really excited for more patches like this. This feels like a very solid meta shifting balance patch overall without taking any big crazy swings, no one got gutted, no one got turbo buffed, a very fair balanced patch. That's just about going to wrap it up for this one though. If you guys want to see me cover any character matchup charts though, please comment down below. I'm looking to script one coming out for the next week or two, so let me know what character y'all would want to see. As always, thanks for watching until the end, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye for now!